These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26. Turns out the Iraqi citizens said enough is enough, and they stormed the government of Iraq in parliament and told them all where to go. Article quote, how did the Green Zone wake up after the Sadr storm? How? When Kazemi came out and told the citizens, stand back, I have your new exchange rate. All right, Tivon says you're in the thick of it now. The information between now and August 7th will be flaming hot, scorching. What Al-Kazimi did was announce a new rate is coming, can't be put back in the bag. This boulder is coming down the hill fast. All right, Jeff is saying the formation of the government and the rate change and those two steps are married together. They're going to RV immediately after they form the government. They're going to implement the reforms roughly 2 to 3 months after they form the government. Question, why is there a delay between the oil and gas law reforms and formation of the government? Jeff says it's because they need 2 to 3 months to fully approve the budget because the budget approval period is waiting on the rate to become public. They need a public rate to approve the budget. Once the budget is approved, they can then implement the reforms. They want August and September to be able to approve the budget so they can implement the reforms in their 7th month of October. This is nothing more than a mid-year supplementary budget and a mid-year rate change. Petra says Kazemi putting icing on the cake says we changed the rate, game over. It's a matter now of timing. Here's the thing that's really important, that is the fact that if he's told the people they can't sit on this, they can't let it go too long because the people now have expectations. I think we're in a short window here, and I think the next several days are going to tell the tale. Mark Z via PDK, they announced a new rate was coming but hasn't occurred yet. In the markets and the streets, they're already starting to demand more money for it. Very interesting news coming off the streets over there right now. Caparoni, it is highly unlikely any bank will add dinar to their exchange program. Iraq is volatile and banks are conservative by nature. There will never be an overnight RV of the dinar, so there will be no need to ever go to a bank to quote unquote cash out. In my opinion, if the dinar floats, it will be gradually over time, which means more than likely your dinar investment would have to be deposited into a managed broker. Whatever that ends up being, some type of brokerage firm, market maker, or ECM, who knows? We just won't know until Iraq decides. Militiaman, I have this strong feeling at this stage of the game it's not necessarily goodbye because I'm not going anywhere, but I feel like it's almost goodbye because the nature of what, where, and how things will roll out. I see this thing coming to short-term crescendo, and I have to say I'm very happy to have been able to be here to watch it unfold. Bruce via Wiser Now, Iraq has been told when they were asked, can we put our new rate on Saturday? The answer was yes. We do finally expect a printed version of the Gazette on Saturday to go out with the Hashimi as Prime Minister and the government. Parliament is seated, and we expect it also to mention the new Iraqi Dinar international rates. We know the rate internationally is the same as the in-country rate for Iraq. We know how much it is already, and we know it will be traded up to that number that Dr. Shabibi projected back in 2012. It should exceed it by up to a couple of dollars. I really think we are extremely close. I think there's a good chance we could get notified this Saturday morning, and we'll see what happens this weekend. Breitling says Iraq is going digital. That means they're going to go international, but it also means they're going to start getting out from under the US dollar, which means they're adding value to their currency. I promise you they are not going to be trading on the SWIFT system with the Iraqi dinar at a tenth of a penny. That information goes hand in hand with a time frame / window on when they're going to start adding value to their currency. That's why it's such good news. Walking stick via Frank 26, the exchange rate is the topic everywhere in the streets of Iraq. It's everywhere in Iraq. The CBI is meeting with the AMF and showing them proof of sales and specimens. This is all fantastic, and the timing couldn't be better. Mark Z via PDK, right now we are hearing a lot of back and forth out of Iraq when to expect them to seat the government. What we are hearing is it will probably be Monday. This is the plan I'm being told from contacts in Kurdish region. They're coming to an agreement, guys, and it is close. We're hearing a lot of back and forth from Iraq as to what to expect rate-wise. I'm hearing 1-to-1. I'm hearing $1.60. There are two possible near rates, nominal effective exchange rates. We are also hearing possible reinstatement of the rate at $3.28. Also, revaluation rates at around $4 mark. It's all over the place, and you should all be excited and waiting the conclusion. Clear article quote, a new parliamentary movement to change the dollar exchange rate. Most of the forces affiliated with the coordination framework are striving, and through the next government, to return the dollar exchange to its previous rate, unquote. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground TV report Firefly. This is the second day in a row now that Framework is talking about a change in the exchange rate. They're telling us that a change in the exchange rate is needed. These are the same that told us we will never have a new exchange rate. And then in the last 2 months, they've been telling us, no, it's only going to go back to the old rate. Frank says, notice how they were against the monetary reform, are now cheering for it because they know Maliki has no power, so they lean in the direction of Kazemi. And lastly, Bruce Weiser. Now we've heard from Iraq that certain airline flights, like Iraqi Air, is not allowed to fly internationally because they don't want the information to leak out until after this is a real thing for Iraq on Saturday. Well, guess what? The flights will resume to some of the international markets that they're not serving currently, starting as early as noon Iraq time on Saturday.